About this, like, yay, here we go. Hey everyone, good morning, good morning. Come on in. It's Lisa and Colby. Yes.
Hi everyone.
Hey. So come on in, let us know where you're from. What is it that you are doing on this Friday morning? I'm just actually going to share it to a group, to the actual student community. Hey Jean, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. There we go. I'm adding it to the group. Come on in. Let us know what you're doing on this Friday morning other than listening to us. Oh, here everyone's coming in. Nice to see you, Elise from Wisconsin. Oh my gosh, everyone's good to see everyone. So this is Colby Rebel. Actually, I think you're on that side. I think you're that side of me. There you go. Mayum, it's nice to see you. Hey, Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Good to see you all. All right, so we are live. We're streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on Colby's site. We're streaming on the student community. So we're going everywhere. But we wanted to come live. And Colby, let me introduce Colby to you. If no one knows who Colby Rebel is, then they really should, by the way. Hey, Karen. Colby is a master teacher of mine and one incredible medium and incredible teacher. So we are coming together to help you guys this morning. But just while we let everybody come in, what are you doing on Friday? Colby, where are you? Are you in LA right now?
I'm actually in Los Angeles, if you can believe it.
I know. Normally you're on some random ski slope somewhere on the West Coast.
It's exactly right. It's exactly right.
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. Hey everyone, and it's nice to see you all. Thank you for coming. Torren, nice to see you guys. Hi, Jonathan. Hey, Jan. Oh my God, everyone's coming in.
I know. I see that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, Terry, you must have had a cancellation in the salon. I know.
Perfect.
We were just talking about hair. It was awesome. So, Terry, you must be psychic. So anyway. So did you say that you're going to Mammoth? So let me explain. Colby is a massive, massive snowboarder, and you've just gone into skiing, haven't you?
Yeah, so I'm doing both actually. So some days I'm on skis, some days I'm on a snowboard, some days I'm both.
So and you're heading off to Mammoth, aren't you, next week?
Yes, because it's some epic conditions here, and I've got over 80 days on the mountain so far.
Wow! Oh my God! I just got back from Vail. Listen, I went to Vail. I went with a mutual friend of ours, and I'm telling you, I kind of snowplowed all the way down, and then I kind of got my little rhythm, and then I just gave up because my legs were killing me.
It's a lot. It is so much, but it is so fun. It is like, and it's good exercise. So I just look at it, instead of going to the gym, I go to the slopes, right? Yeah. So it's been wonderful.
Oh my God, that's awesome. All right, so while you guys were coming in, I'm just letting you know, Colby Rebel. Colby, how long have we known each other?
Oh my God. Well, I've been a master teacher, I think 8 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh it showed up on my face. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So I would say we've known each other maybe probably 10 years.
Yeah.
A long time.
A long time. And isn't it your birthday coming up?
It is. Yes, Tuesday.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. There you go. Karen's just said happy birthday, Colby. So yeah,
thank you. Awesome. Thank you.
Colby's been a master teacher of mine, which I'll explain what a master teacher is. A master teacher is when they go through some serious, rigorous training.
Yeah, pain. It's when you go through pain.
Really? Okay, so I remember, I always talk about this story. Colby used to come to a lot of my circles when I lived in LA. And I remember that, was it a Tuesday night or a Thursday night, something like this. And as she was walking out, it was like I grabbed her by the scruff of her neck and I went, master teacher applications are due in tomorrow. She went, what? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. I was like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
is
How
there
could
someone
you-
behind me that
And it was amazing because Colby is an incredible medium. I never forget throwing her up in the school and saying, Colby, can you deliver messages today? And you went, sure, and now look at you. You are rocking
crazy.
stages. You have got your own podcast. You are an incredible medium. You've done mediumship all around the world. I mean, what a journey for you.
It's been really incredible, especially, when you step into your purpose. And it's scary. I mean, I think, we've got a lot of students here and followers listening. And for anyone, I had a very successful tax accounting career. I mean, there was no need for me to switch careers, right? I was successful. I think I would have been partner one day. And I don't think you know what, can I share a quick little story
Yeah.
that I always tell my students, because I love this story. So I was studying to take the CPA exam, which is in accounting, and it's a whole pro thing where you have to pass I think 4 or 5 parts within a time limit. So I had all the parts passed down to my one last part, but there's a timeline, a timer start. So if you don't pass all of them in that time frame, then you lose them. So the way I had passed them, that I had one last part and I was going to be a CPA. So, but I was already starting to study with you. And so I studied so hard. I went in and I just prayed to Spirit the night before, like, just give me this and I promise I'll serve. Let me have this and I promise then I'm going to serve. Okay. You do this for me, I'll do that for you. Okay. And I took it and I got the results back and I failed by 1 point.
No.
And lost all of it. So all of it was gone in a second. And I said to Spirit, why? And they said, because you can't negotiate with us any longer.
Oh,
and that
my God.
literally the next day I did my first professional reading. And then I took your class, which it was psychic advisor, right? And
That's
so
right.
so by the end of that year, that same year, I got a certificate that was certified psychic advisor, CPA. I thought, okay, that is not funny, Spirit. That's not what I was talking about. I was like, no.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's just like, but that's how it works. That's how it works. But you know what? It obviously put me on a path of where I was supposed to be, and I wouldn't want anything else or to be doing anything else. I mean, I've been in this a little bit over 10 years now, and I'm just as passionate about it today as I was the day I started. And just looking like, what more can I do? How more can I serve? And so I've written 3 books, like there's a lot. It's crazy. So, and all because of you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I just didn't do anything. I just showed up, I guess. I think,
yes.
And it goes into when the student is ready, the teachers appear.
Yeah.
And so this is why we're here for you guys today. What a great segue. So we are doing a Mastering Your Mediumship class tomorrow, and it's going to be tomorrow, and it's literally 6 hours. It's not very long.
Yes.
But honestly, I am really, really just going to say something here. Colby is a phenomenal teacher. I know I taught her, but she's actually gone on to do so much other study, so much work, so much more advanced work. And so she is an incredible teacher. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about a variety of stuff. So any of you who struggle with multiple spirits, who struggle with just getting your connection, or how do you advance yourself, or how do you really break things up and get the best out of your work? Actually, I don't know why I put that StreamYard link in. I have no idea. I was trying to copy that, but yeah, I want you to know that this is what we're going to be doing tomorrow. It is going to be incredible. Oh, that's okay. So let me just show you. There's the Eventbrite.
But if Jean, just so you know, Jean, it's going to be recorded, and then we're going to offer that 10 days after, so you can watch it on replay. Obviously, if there's, exercises you won't be able to participate in, but you can certainly get the content and the knowledge and the teaching if you purchase a ticket.
Yeah. And so it's really about you. If you want to come and join us, because honestly, some of the things that we're looking at is we're trying to help you get the best out of your connection.
Yes.
Because the connection is so incredible. It is so incredible. So we want to also give you a little bit of a tip and trick right now. Okay. So Colby, what is one of the things that you often get asked all the time?
Well, one of the things I get asked is how do you make the connection? Like, how do you decide who wants to come in? Like, how do you focus? And so all I do is, so obviously you set the intention prior to your session. Okay. So we set that intention for connection. Then all I do after that, who wants to say hi? That's it.
Yeah.
I don't put any pressure on it. Who wants to say hello? And then I just allow the first person that steps forward, and I begin with that person and just leaning in. Does it feel like a male or a female? Who are they for the sitter? And I carry it on as a conversation rather than who are you? What's your name? What do you do? Rather just a very getting to know them. So good to see you. Thanks for showing up. Really, for anyone who's ever worried about not getting it, thank you for showing up.
You know what? That's the thing. I think there's so many people that want name, rank, and serial number, where actually your name, rank, and serial number of the person you want, but it's that energy. It's getting to know them. It's making spirit your best friend.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. I want to answer to Dana here. She's like, relearning to focus with my menopause mind. Okay, so I'm going to actually address this. I have been in menopause since I was 32. I had a hysterectomy. Right? I'm almost 50 right now. So I've been in menopause for a very long time. There are a lot of things that we actually have to learn. We have to redo. We have to understand it. But there are some, it's really about, I'm not here to I'm not medical expert or anything like that, but there are ways that we can go about working with that menopause mind. Because if we look at it, a lot of people come in at a later date. And working with our menopause mind, what we're having to do is we're having to refocus and relearn the way that we get information, such as, oh my God, I'm seeing this thing, it's pink, it's round, and it carries water, instead of saying it's a water bottle. And sometimes I'm like, that fuzzy thing that's green on the floor that grows, and people are like, oh my God, you're talking about grass. And I'm like, that's the thing. So it's relearning how we have to access information, and accessing information is probably one of the things that I struggle. A lot of my students struggle with is, how do I get quick connections?
Yeah.
And so with those quick connections, what I'm going to say to you is literally go to the first thing that comes to your mind. Take that first thing and then be curious. Okay, well, why am I seeing that? What does it mean? Where is it going? And I use a thing called force connections. And what it is allowing your mind to settle and allowing your brain to kind of go, oh, why am I looking at this book by Ariel Ford saying, turn your mate into your soulmate? Oh, I'm being shown that there's a gift in writing a book. And you're just actually seeing something, and it forces a connection for you to go, it takes your mind away from it. And there's actually I'm studying neuroscience. So when our brain is so calm and it looks at something random, it actually forces that. So what's actually happening is spirit is giving you information and connections you're not seeing. So sometimes you just have to allow your mind to relax. And that's one of the things that I will say. It's my little tip to you guys. Let your mind relax and don't force it. Like Colby said, allow it to come in.
Yeah, I think it's so important. Like, just to give you guys an example, the other day I had a reading, and I said, I'm being shown a daffodil. I'm not exactly sure. I had just connected to a dog for her actually on the other side. And I was saying, well, now I'm seeing a daffodil. Not exactly sure why I'm being shown a daffodil. She got really excited because her other dog was buried and her dad put a daffodil plant on top of where the dog is buried. I was like,
Oh,
okay, well and I was like, okay, now that dog is wanting, I knew immediately, okay, now that's what that dog was using to say, hey, I want to say hi, I'm here too.
yep.
And then I saw a little hummingbird in the picture. And I was like, oh, I'm seeing a hummingbird. We didn't connect it in the second. However, then her aunt came in from spirit. And I said, oh, she's showing me this. She brings it in and it's got a hummingbird lid. So, you know, this is how it works. This is how spirit works, right? They're going to kind of get you to see something, to say it. And then that's like their way in.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's so amazing when we get those things. And I think that's what we're going to be covering tomorrow, is to really also to try to get unusual stuff. People always want names, rank, and serial number. I often think, you know, why can't you get the fact that you collected seashells together?
Yeah.
And because that's so important. And, you know, the collection of sunglasses that they may have, and really looking at, I remember going on stage and just to get the unusual stuff. I remember going on stage and saying, I have this guy, Ryan, and he's coming in with a drug overdose. Well, several hands went up and I went, but he's riding in on a giraffe. And there's one, and I'm like, Lisa, really? A giraffe? Where are you going with this, girl? And this one hand stayed up and she said, we grew up on a giraffe sanctuary and my son's name was Ryan. Yeah. And so pushing for the most unusual thing really can highlight so much.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the thing too. It's, you know, there's also going to be times if, for instance, if you read for someone, you know, who their loved one is well known, or I had the opportunity or the privilege, honor to read for a medium where another very famous medium had passed away. Well, there's a lot we know about that medium. So you have to go for what does not everybody know? What is something special between them? Yes. Because again, when we bring that type of information in, then your sitter absolutely knows you have their loved one, right? How could you know that? It's private. So
absolutely. So yeah, I know this is a thing, Jonathan. I just want to actually address this because I'm just bringing this up on here. I totally agree. People think that the reader is rubbish if you don't give the name, rank, and number. So how do you address that, Colby, with your clients if they say, you know, if you're really talking to me, you would know them, you would really know what they called me?
I don't really have those kind of clients too much. And I think maybe just the way that, you know, I always take control of your reading. This is how I work. This is a conversation. I'm going to trust them. Now, that doesn't mean I don't bring forward names. Of course, I go out there and I try to bring those in and bring forward and kind of give some of that concrete evidence that Jonathan is talking about, because, you know, it is important. But I don't stress about it. I just don't put pressure on myself around it. And I'm really lucky and grateful that my clients, I feel like, are open to the experience. And I explain like, hey, this is how I work and this is what to expect. And let's see what happens, you know?
Absolutely. And it is how you set up your reading. It's managing your clients' expectations, because, and I'm guilty of this. I mean, I was one of the TV mediums who created a standard, which meant, you know, people wanted name, rank, and serial number because it's a highly edited, produced show that showed that. And so, of course, everyone who is watching TV and watching these mediums are now coming in and going, well, James Van Prague and Lisa Williams and John Edward and you're Lisa Williams and you and I'm like, it doesn't work that way. What you're seeing is an hour's reading that's cut into 10 minutes. And it's so fluid, and it's so important to recognize that hard evidence is important. But I often say to people, let it percolate. Don't put me on the spot. Don't, if you want that information, don't put me on the spot. Don't say to me, I want to know, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then I just say, let me let it percolate. And then all of a sudden, it happened recently where a friend of mine had passed away and his dad was saying to me, well, if you're really talking to him, he would tell you what happened on Thanksgiving morning. And I'm like, Oh God. And I said, listen, let it percolate. And then I said, he's showing me that, he's talking about his piece of music that suddenly came on. And they went, oh, I said, and you were drinking your coffee. And actually, Colby, you came into my reading at that point. It's funny because I saw your face and I saw your Coffee with Colby show, okay, that you do, all right, on Facebook. And I went, you were drinking coffee, and he's showing me the piece of music come on. And then he went, oh my God, that was it. That was it. And I said, but it was specifically his piece of music that was playing. And his dad was just, oh my gosh. And I'd already said to him, don't test me,
Yeah.
And it was so funny. And I just let it percolate. I didn't put on the spot. But when you get put on the spot, we immediately freeze. And it's not getting into that frozen state. And that's where the beauty comes in, is it's controlling your reading. They're coming to you for a reason, and they need you. And that's what's important. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think too, like there's sometimes I'll say to them, oh, how did you find me? And they'll say, oh, my friend so-and-so, they raved about you. They said that you had everything, whatever. And, obviously I make a joke about it. I go, well, gosh, that's some standards. That sounds like that was pretty good. Okay. I don't know how good this is going to be, but let's just see, and then you just kind of let it go, right? You create that relaxed feeling. Also, I think too, I come into this session very, very open and very open and understanding for the sitter that, the sitter is grieving and the sitter is going through some stuff themselves. So I come in with empathy for the sitter and openness and just kind of like a big hug and like, okay, look, let's do this. Like, let's do this. And I think they can feel that. And that makes a big, big difference. They can feel that caring coming in.
Yeah, I think, guys, if you are studying mediumship, if you are looking at, if you are wanting to develop your mediumship, even if you're a baby beginner and don't know where to start, I'm going to really suggest that you seek out, first of all, your teacher. Find your really good teacher, stick with them for a period of time and work with their techniques. Okay. Find yourself someone you trust. Obviously the teacher appears when the student is ready. We've just appeared. But seriously, if you are looking at doing some form of beginner stuff, stay with your one teacher for a period of time, learn the basics with them, and then open it up. And don't get panicky if you're just coming into this conversation and you're thinking, oh my God, I'm not there yet. Don't get panicky about what we're talking about, because Colby, do you remember when you first started? Because I know I do. Gosh, it was tough.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, just the idea when I first started, I couldn't, because when you're connecting and you're connecting naturally. You don't even realize you're talking to spirit dead people. Like you don't even realize, like, oh, that's what that is. Oh, people would say, oh, Colby, you're a medium. Nah, I mean, I don't know. And then once I realized what that was, then I realized I've been doing it since I was a kid.
Yep.
But, there's a lot of pressure of wanting it to be perfect. And am I doing it? And am I doing it right? And how come it's not as easy? And you just get all in your head. So, but I am a big advocate of training. There are some people that are like, oh, it's natural, of course, but the training really, really helps you. And the training not only helps you with technique and understanding, but it certainly ends up helping with confidence and integrity, authenticity, standards. And so I'm a big advocate of like, okay, let's learn how to do it and let's learn how to do it well.
Yeah, me too. All right, guys. So listen, Colby and I have got a 6-hour-long workshop tomorrow. It is, you can rewatch the replay up to, was it 7 days afterwards?
10. We're going to have it open for 10 days to watch it.
So 10 days afterwards. And, so we are bringing it to you guys. We're super excited. You're going to get the best of the best. And I'm going to say Colby is a phenomenal, phenomenal teacher. Come along, share it with your friends. All right. I'm going to unapologetically say, pimp us out. Because honestly, what we're going to be looking at, how to get the best out of your mediumship, how to divide the spirits up, unravel the spirits, because you know when it just becomes this big mush of spirits.
Yes.
God. We're going to be looking at how to deliver uncomfortable messages, difficult things, how to dive deep, how to get the information that your clients really, really want. So come along. I'm super excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be
great.
It's been a while since we worked together.
I know, but it really is so much fun. It really is. So thank you. Yes.
So the link is in the chat. All right. I've been popping it in the chat. I know Colby has as well. And I'm looking forward to chatting with you tomorrow. And Colby, thank you.
I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, guys. We'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.